What is up, YouTube? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Man, I'm over here fighting with this fan, but I feel good because it's cool. Check it out, man. In the Philippines, man. Let's see. Let's do a blackout. We're gonna do a blackout. I can actually. Now that look perfect. That look perfect. I'm gonna leave it alone. I think I'm Spike Lee or something, y'all. Try to get my Spike Lee on, man. Shannon Sharpe, what the hell? Dude, you was right there with Cat Williams. You had the information first from Cat Williams. And oh man, firsthand. You had the information first before the videos went viral. You got to talk to Cat Williams before and after about the dirt in the industry. Everybody knows, man. Monique talked to you. Think about it, y'all. If Monique said this stuff to you, to your face, because that's my brother, I love it. Monique was too real. That's what the problem is. Monique was too real. Monique was like Uncle Mike. Like, I'm going to give it to you straight, Slim. You're going to sit there and act like you doing something. Acting is not my cup of tea. But anyway, check this out, man. It's over an hour long. So Jaguar goes off on Shannon Sharpe dating white women. 3x younger, 3 times younger than him. And now he's getting sued. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, man. Let's check this bad boy out. Here we go.
From what?
And why is nobody looking at the lineup?
The lineup.
Oh, I'm fixing to work today. Y'all gonna watch me work today. I love it when God takes these moments to just let me run amok.
Come on, honey.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
You okay?
A real life street stars. We are back once again.
Shout out to my boo-boo.
With the one and only Mrs. Jaguar Wright.
Yes,
And
hello.
it seems like the world just keeps on happening, and we just gonna keep on responding. It just seems like, and we said, it's funny because we always known you were on a mission to out the elites of the depravities that go on behind the scenes and things that they feel like they could get away with. And right now, we have just a bombshell of news that's every day is something new pouring into this whole thing with, and I'm going to take it to the top with Disney, ESPN, and Shannon Sharpe. And we want to break this thing down because this is at a level to where all the signs were there from the Cat Williams interview, Monique, and we're going to go through there, but it seems like it fell on deaf ears. So first and foremost, Jack, when you seen the news come through, what is your initial thought? Because everything's alleged as it is presented. It's alleged, and then evidence are coming out. What was your initial thought on the Shannon Sharpe situation?
I would have to agree with Candace Owens. It's clearly a shakedown. But what I actually thought was, how does nobody see what they're trying to do? Because this is pure distraction. Pure.
From what?
And why is nobody looking at the lineup? Oh, I'm fixing to work today. Y'all gonna watch me work today. I love it when God takes these moments to just let me run amok. I really do. I love it. 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 I love it so much. I love it when God literally puts his hand on me and says, Jag, go act a fool.
Go act a fool,
And that's what we got to do today.
Go act a fool.
So let's go. Let's get into it.
Let's go. First and foremost, let's work this thing slowly. An alleged situation comes out where Shannon Sharpe, Tony Busby, out of all people, who just sued Jay-Z, the name fell apart with that lawsuit against the little girl. Tony Busby, of course, is representing a Jane Doe who alleges that Shannon Sharpe R-word her, abusive relationship, and that's where it starts.
Yeah.
When you read that, what is your take on just Tony Busby being involved with a Jane Doe coming after Shannon Sharpe after what just happened with the case against Jay?
Well, see, the problem that I have with all of that is this. No one's being honest about the case with the 37 going on 38-year-old autistic female who was hunted down and stalked like an animal. There was an agreement made. Behind the scenes, no one's telling the truth about that. There were promises and assurances made. And then after everyone respectfully dropped what they had to drop, all of a sudden, private investigators are on her door. That dog didn't stop barking. Clear sign. Very, 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 very clear sign. Sorry, somebody keeps trying to call me. I forgot to put it on a do not disturb. But why is nobody talking about that? She dropped the case, he dropped the case, and allegedly there was payment. Why did those private investigators still need to go to that young woman's door? You know, with Busby coming forward as the great champion against all of these evil elite, taking him down would be like the best thing in the world, wouldn't it? For them. If they can get him in one case where they can prove that it was a shakedown, that it was a this, that it was a that takes Busby out the Diddy game, don't it?
Sounds like it.
Just let's be honest.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa.
Because
So basically, Bugsby is up to bat, and he done struck out. He struck one, strike one, but he still got the bat in his hand. With that little girl, that was strike one. Then he filing court papers all the wrong way and all this stupid stuff. Strike one. Now with this Club Shay Shay filing that ain't going to end up being nothing. They got text messages. They always text each other this goofy stuff for years. Ain't no judge, ain't no lawyer, ain't no jury is going to believe this. None of this. But Bugsby is there doing something to get this weight. He's doing it in an ugly way. This strike two. But he getting this weight off of Diddy. This is how this game is played, man. This is a weird game. A 1-800 number. You done. Boy, I'm starting to really not like you, Bugsby.
because of the Jane Doe case that is mocked and mired with the autistic victim who never took back what she said. She just said it was too much pressure.
Right.
See, that's what happened.
See, what had happened was
But
the
nobody wants
pressure
to talk
got
about
to
that
me.
at all. That woman is autistic. What they put her through, she should be suing them for mental distress.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
So Tony Busby, he had reached out to a bunch of people to ask if anyone has a case against, of course, Diddy and a few other people. Please come to him for him to get this case. In again, with regarding Shannon Sharpe, do you feel like, because Shannon Sharpe said this is a witch hunt, a shakedown? Is Busby? Do you feel like technically victims are going to go to him because he actually is going to go through with prosecute or the lawsuits versus just going to anyone with another name?
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. This is one of my moderators. Something must be happening. I'm texting. Angry at Shannon Sharpe. No, because It's about to get serious. You know, a lot of people were angry at Shannon Sharpe after his Cat Williams 2024 God Ain't Playing With Y'all interview. A lot of people were angry with him. Matter of fact, there's a lot more people who reached out to him after Cat, who he turned away because he couldn't take the heat. Is everyone forgetting that? And Cat warned him, they're going to come for
Wow,
you.
that's
Monique
crazy.
came after that, told him, they about to get you. You better watch who you kicking it with. She told him the kindest, most polite way possible. And then all of a sudden, he's accidentally going on Instagram, setting up whole corn lives. Humiliation ritual. Down to the floor. But why is nobody paying attention to? They're talking about money. 10 million offered to be quiet. She asked for 25,000 for the SCX. He wants 100 million for defamation and whoopty-whoopty-woo and all of this. Why is nobody talking about the simple fact that this is a man that's pushing 60 who's messing with a girl that's barely old enough to drink?
Yeah.
Let's stay there.
Let's stay there.
Because everybody skipped over that.
Not me.
They also skipped over the name that he dropped. She's a very unique name. Now, I'm not going to say her first name, but the family name that she holds is Zuniga. I've been researching, trying to figure out if she's related to the Hollywood Zunigas. Because Daphne Zuniga has ties in some interesting areas behind the scenes. Melrose Place actress. Does anybody remember?
See, that's why we love Jag. That is why we love Jag, because Jag go to places that nobody else go to. I ain't know who the girl name was and the last name and what difference does the last name make. Well, apparently it makes a big difference. Hold on for a minute. Ho. Resume. Forget that. I had to go get me a pillow, man. I gotta get me a pillow, man, because I gotta get comfortable. Here we go, man. Here we go. This is crazy.
Oh, damn. Man, that's Melrose Place. Yeah, 1990s.
Yeah, Daphne Zuniga. She has ties, like I said, some very interesting Hollywood ties. So you messing with this girl who's a child. This man has children older than this girl. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
Yeah, his daughters are 32. Son is 30.
And he keeps getting online. And somebody want to apologize to my family. No, you don't. Because you would stop. You got busted out. You did whatever you did on Instagram.
Yeah. Hold up, man. I mean, in my book, it should be a rule. All right, I'm comfortable there. Rule number 1. No man or woman should be dating anybody that's younger than your kids. Should that be a rule? I mean, that should be a unwritten rule. I got kids. Uncle Mike don't have no kids. I don't have no kids. But if I had kids, I could not be, oh man, that means something wrong with me. If I'm attracted in any kind of way to people, I got a nephew that's 35. I got a nephew that's 30. Well, I keep saying he's 35. I think he's 37 now. My nephew. And that's the closest thing I got to a son or a kid. So, long story short, if you 37 or under, you off limits to Uncle Mike, period. Automatically, you are off limits. Automatically. So, other than that, you just a joke to me. I'm just joking with you. You beautiful, all women beautiful, whatever. But you got to be, forget it. Down, man. Here we go.
And is everyone forgetting that he was just recently tied to the whole bride and rooming with Casanat and Skip Bayless? Is everybody forgetting that just happened just a couple months ago?
Oh man, yeah.
That just kind of went away.
Crazy.
And it was really kind of sad how it went away so fast, because it went away just as fast as the Aka Diddy thing in Discord with that 15-year-old kid. My point is, what you doing messing with with people young enough to be your grandchildren, Hoss? OnlyFans? You're negotiating $150 million big deal for your podcast outlets and all of that, which, by the way, was all set up for you by the NFL. Oh, I'm sorry. Who does Sean Carter work for?
The puzzle is puzzling.
No, last time I checked, Mr. Carter works for the NFL. And he was the one that got real smart Black Americans who were boycotting the NFL to stop giving the NFL their money. He was able to make all of that happen. I think we're past bending a knee. And then all of a sudden, Black people giving their money back to the NFL again? Those blackouts were for real, and it was costing the NFL millions. And all these people care about is money.
Jack, what is the age that you should be? I mean, when you're like that age, what's the youngest you should be to?
An almost 60-year-old man shouldn't even find a woman under the age of 30 attractive.
Did I not just say that? Did I not just say that? I think I said something like that. How in the hell? That's a little kid. You should be helping that kid develop their freaking mind or something. I would be pissed off at some. I'm going through that now. I'm like, look here, little girl. You can't trip. I don't even have $1 million, and I'm trying to let these dummies know you cannot trip me up. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to help people. And right now, I can start with you. You need some help if you think you flirting with me and that's working. Forget the age. I got a fiance. Forget the age. Whatever happened to this thing called loyalty, y'all? Whatever happened to it? Every relationship, I never cheated on nobody. And you talking about some kid. If you got kids that are twice as old as this person, you need to go get some help, man. You need to go get some help.
A man pushing 60, all of that wisdom, all of that knowledge. The only way you want something young and dumb is if you want something young and dumb.
Fact.
Because you don't want to be challenged. Fact. In your actual life. You know, growing older isn't growing up. Are we forgetting about the case that Jean-Claude Van Damme got on him? With all of those teleported young women that he just got busted with? And he knew they was being moved around people? Him and Shannon Sharpe around the same age.
You know, Shannon Sharpe, he just recently, a resurfaced video came out to where he was with Donnell Rawlings, Ashley Larry with Dave Chappelle, and he was kind of getting on him for being 46 with a 23-year-old and was jokingly asking, where'd you meet, Forever 21? Why didn't you talk to the mama? And that interview was like just a few months ago, last year.
A little hypocritical, ain't it?
Yeah, it's almost like he was hiding his own desires.
Hiding his own desires, or maybe just projecting. Maybe he was just projecting. Why do people think that Shannon is smart? Because he knows how to read Oh, I can get a monkey to read. There's monkeys that have bachelor's degree.
God, go
What he
say that.
is a
Go
broke
ahead.
down Mandingo fighter still working on behalf of the
What?
NFL. That's what he is.
What is he? Hold up, Jag. I'm trying to do things, y'all. Y'all know Uncle Mike. Hold on. Watch this.
What he is a broke down Mandingo fighter still working on behalf of the NFL. That's what
Crazy.
he is.
That's a bar, Jag. That's a bar. Jaguar, that's a bar. What he is can we no, let's keep going.
Period. You want to know what else I also find funny? That he did that interview with the baby person who sat there and told him about when he met Beyonce. Y'all remember that? That happened on Shay Shack. And he talked about how he was at the Diddy party at Diddy's house. And how after, the festivities were winding down and it was getting later into the middle of the night, approaching 3 a.m., Diddy got rid of almost everybody, but he let the baby stay behind with him and his close friends. And then he talked about how Beyonce was there and Jay-Z was there. Not at their house, at Diddy's house. And how Beyonce presented herself to him. And she didn't have to do that because he knew who she was and he couldn't believe she was talking to him. But she approached him. Kind of like how she approached that old friend of his when he said that he was at the party and the little people was there and she asked him, "Isn't this sexy?"
Damn.
My. How illuminating. There's been a lot of freaking off going on for a long time. Why does everybody keep... Let me tell you this. Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter. It does not matter how much money they spend, how many people, those tickets ain't gonna sell. And I'm gonna tell you why they not gonna sell. Because God said no. Period. God said no. Y'all need to start trying. There is no turning back. You're caught. I wish you had the common sense that animals do when they're caught. They just surrender. But no, y'all gonna fight it to the very end. Y'all gonna bring this broke down old NFL bum who apparently will do anything with his genitals to help cover or create validity where there is none with the weirdos with his little orange purse, screwing people's kids, screwing kids young enough to be his grandchildren.
Wow, that's facts. That's facts.
You a dirty old man. Period.
Wow, that's facts.
Of course it's a shakedown.
Wow,
What it
that's
is a
facts.
setup
That's
to
stupid.
find a way to get Tony Busby out of the Diddy game right before the trial. NFL, Jay-Z, Shannon Sharpe, all in the same bed. Are they not?
Hey. So, Jag, the problem of the age is one problem. I want to move over to the girls' race.
It's not a problem. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, just disgusting. I mean, she's legal, but it's kind of wild. But
Barely.
people are
I'm just
looking
trying to figure out, how does a man with that much money, how does a man with that much access need to go to OnlyFans to get some tail?
Yeah, was that his problem? That OnlyFans seemed like a one and done situation. It seemed like he kept a relationship open.
Once again, That little girl has assigned herself to be a whore. And that's who you're clienteling with? As a grown-ass man, you should be telling her that there's more for her to do with her life than peddling her booty on OnlyFans.
25K a cheek.
And you paid it? You that hard up that you got to pay little kids? Tell you a real story. My mother's stepfather, the man who unalived my grandmother. I never met my grandma. She was unalived on my uncle's 6th birthday during the birthday party. Mac, unalived the mother of his children and the mother of someone else's children right in front of her kids. He only did 7 years for that. Destroyed my mother's family and destroyed every last one of them. You know, they used to make me go over there, even though he had touched all over everybody, forced himself in ways that an adult should never force their way on young people. He done all of those things. They knew it. He took my grandmother's life. And they would still send me over there to go get money from him and stuff so he could pay, I guess, some kind of ghetto reparations. But he would still try to hit on all of us when we would come over there. I never understood why they would send us there. Just go get the money and get whatever he got. We need it. The very man who took my grandmother's life. And I look like my grandma. And I'll never forget when I seen the girl that I went to school with, because his apartment was right across the street from my high school, William Penn, Broad and Girard. And that's why they would make me go, because I was right there, right? I went to school there. But when I seen the girl who was in the grade above me, coming from his place, putting those $100 bills in her pocket. She was 15 and a half, going on 16 years old. He was in his 70s, and he was hiring her to come and give him blowies.
$100 bill, y'all.
And I knew who that girl was. And her mama was on crack. Her and her brothers and sisters didn't eat a lot. I'm talking about a 15 and a half, 16-year-old girl going to service this old man who was every kind of pervert and every kind of thing that is wrong in the eyes of God. And she did that to get that money to help feed her and her siblings because her mama was on crack. And I went to school with her. How was the Shannon Sharpe thing any different than what I just told you?
Man, it's real. Wow.
How was that any different? How was he any different than my pervert, dead step-grandfather who took my grandmother's life and assaulted everyone in the family and even tried us? The grandchildren of the woman he unalived.
Jag, just curious, what ended up happening to him?
Mac?
Yeah, Mac.
He went to jail for 7 years and then came out and left the rest of my aunts and them to grow up in the system after they had been abused and all of that stuff. My father did the eulogy at his funeral because they couldn't find a minister that would touch him. And then the family got mad at my dad because my dad sat there and told the truth about that man with his dead body present. And the only reason I went to the burial was so I could piss on his grave. He lived a semi-long life, and he continued to keep abusing young people while my aunts knew he was doing it and did nothing to stop it.
I can't do that.
It's like there's several
I
Macs
can't do that.
in
If
the
I
black
know,
families around the world.
you better be lucky. If Uncle Mike knows somebody is suffering, especially a little kid, I feel sorry for you, cuz. Yeah, because I don't mind going to jail for something I believe in. That's all. And I don't have no criminal record, by the way. Never been in jail.
How come Mac never gets punished like this? Why do you think that is? No one's ever punishing a Mac. He just ends up dying of old age.
He still got to answer to God. They all still got to answer to God. And I can't wait. I hope when the fire hit Mac, it burns his genitals first. I hope it just goes right to the place of harm first. Those are all facts. Shannon Sharpe is no different than Homer McClendon Sr., who they call Daddy Mac. May he forever rot in hell.
Jack, let me ask, when Shannon Sharpe is being sued by a white woman for 50 million, when it comes to race, and people look at, wow, there you go. And again, Cat Williams told him, like, Cat Williams said, I'm scared of white women. They'll bring you down in 2 weeks, even if you Kang the Conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing this exactly play out in front of him. And he sat in front of Shannon and said that dealing with a
Isn't
white
that
woman, you should
interesting
be
how that
scared.
whole thing was lined up to make it look that way? So everyone can get all up in arms about a white woman's going after a black man and how this and that. That's number one, that's not a woman, that's a child. She ain't
Talk
even
to me.
25 years old yet. By human science studies alone, the human brain isn't completely finished developing until the 25th year of age. She ain't there yet, is she?
Come on.
That ain't no woman. That's a confused, misguided child. That ain't no woman. And I'm sick and tired of people thinking that just because you spread your legs and you take a fool inside your body and you get a couple dollars after that, that's what makes you a woman. She's a child. And he's the adult. If he was being an adult, rather than being an overgrown kid who likes to wear his clothes too tight and run around trying on women's attire and apparel. See what I'm saying? She ain't no woman and he ain't no man. That's a confused, misguided child and a grown PDFer. Because if you like it young, you just like it young.
Facts.
Let's just be clear on that. And I've had my fair share of dirty old men to know exactly how real that is.
Facts.
So what would you say, you've been in like lifestyles in your past where you've seen relationships where men are sadomasochists, women sometimes like that. And when
That's
you read
dominatrix.
yes, when you read the text messages and you see her asking to be choked, he's accused of choking.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the line blur when it comes to like what is done in the bedroom versus what's forcefully done based on being consensual for? Like, hey, yes, this is what I want.
That's a child experiencing and experimenting in negative behavior, and that's an adult that's going along with it. See, this is the thing. There should be no lawsuit because if he was acting like an adult, he'd shut that down. See? Following God's commandments and laws, being a decent human being, and caring about humanity would have stopped all of this, would it not?
Yeah, it seemed like he's reliving his teen years or something. I don't know. It seemed like
Sounds
he
like he's
like the
doing whatever the
clothes,
white
the
man tell him to
girls.
do. It sounds like he's doing whatever the white man tell him to do to throw off the Diddy trial. This ain't nothing but another distraction. That girl needs some serious counseling, and her parents need to get involved before she ends up like Bianca Censore.
Mm. Mm. That's crazy
Well,
again.
And Shannon Sharpe needs to be canceled.
yeah.
Period.
What? What do you
Not
say when?
because of what he's done, not because of what he's done, but because of what he's really trying to do. He's trying to derail this Diddy trial. He's trying to make sure that the Jigga Man don't get caught up in this RICO. He's doing his portion for the Illuminati, in my opinion. Have we not noticed
Wow.
the kind of interviews he's been doing this year? He's done at least 3 interviews with 3 different people that got up there over there with the Shay Shay talking about what no freak offs. Didn't he just bring Amber Rose up there? A goof of thirsty ass.
Yeah.
Running around with an airbrush makeup kit and a pocketbook to take away exactly how much she's aged in real life. We caught her at that basketball game, and then all of a sudden she shows up on Shay Shay looking revived and renewed to tell everybody wasn't no freak off, even though he had the baby there, and the baby there told him that he was at the freak off with the Jigga Man and the Beyonce and the Diddler at the Diddler's lair. It's just more distraction. And they got to tap his ass in for another humiliation ritual because they're still pissed off at him about letting Cat up there do what he did. And that's how I feel about it. And that's all that is. I'm just disappointed in Candace Owens.
What?
Oh, go ahead.
That's all that is. Go ahead.
I mean, she went through the trouble of going live about it and doing a whole show pointing out what's obvious, that it's a shakedown, that there's something off with it, that it's wrong. But usually she digs a little deeper. She just kind of left that there. Almost kind of like how what she's doing with the Harvey Weinstein expose. She's really not going after the gusto with that. Taking a little long. She was a lot more dedicated when it came to Scamala. She ain't let that go. Wonder why she's so light with this. Because anybody intelligent can see this for what it is. Question is, why is everybody focusing on what doesn't matter? Everyone's always looking at the details, but nobody's ever asking why. Why is this happening now? At this time? Why? But I like the way they're trying to frame it and make it look like, ooh, the white girl is coming to take down the black man. And just as he was doing that, I guarantee you someone's going to start comparing it to when Bill Cosby was trying to put his bid in to buy a piece of NBC and then all of his stuff came out. I'm sure there's going to be a couple content creators, especially here on YouTube, trying to line that up to create the whole black against white and, feminists against misogynists. And everyone's going to be talking about everything other than the fact that the timing of this thing stinks to all high heaven. And it's to attack Tony Busby.
Well, what do you say then to when Shannon Sharpe is engaging in text conversations and recorded phone calls? Should he have like I think Cameron just said he should have saw the red flags. He should have peeped the whole play. When a girl's talking about don't choke me and you're on phone calls, just staying on the phone with her. At that level of a millionaire, you should be like, let me just get off the phone. Let me stop texting.
Number
We're
one,
talking in person
at that
in the rain.
level of a millionaire, he shouldn't even be involved with that girl.
Facts.
Yeah, that's
If he
facts.
wanted to go and buy himself a whore, there are women that he could have bought that will do all of those things who are mature. Like, why is everybody running to OnlyFans? Didn't they just hear about what that girl? You got a girl on trial right now. She about to go to jail for life. Early 30s, married. She has a couple kids, and she was on OnlyFans pretending to be a dominatrix. You did you hear about that?
That's news to me.
Yeah. She's in jail right now in California. I'm trying to see if I can get a lead in because I want to interview her about how she feels about her life choices. One day she was married with kids, and now she's about to go to jail for life. Want to know why? Because she was engaged in this kind of behavior that this little girl engaged with the Shay with this unknown man. And she went to his house. She wrapped him up in plastic wrap, his whole body,
Oh yeah, yeah, heard about that.
like a hot dog. She took women's cowboy boots or shoes of some kind, women's shoes, and gorilla glued them to his feet.
Really? Oh,
She beat the crap out and did all kinds of stuff. I guess she forgot to poke the hole. He expired. And now they're going back looking through all their transmissions and the stuff that she's being charged for doing to him. There's no record that he asked for that. He asked for a bunch of other stuff. It's all happening on OnlyFans. They got whole talk. Like, I mean, why would prestigious men who actually care about their reputations trust themselves with unverified and clearly deplorable people or people with deplorable behaviors? Why would you do that? A man with self respect wouldn't get involved with something like that at all,
tell him again,
unless he's
Jag. Tell
just
him
into
again.
that.
Yep, you right about that.
So, if that's what common sense says, and then I think we just need to look at the fact that this was all set up to discredit Tony Busby 2 weeks before the Didless trial. I think it also creates a lot of unrest because anyone who hears the name Busby, they instantly think of Diddy. All of the people that are about to be selected on a jury trial are now watching this, are they not?
Yeah, they're definitely gonna see it.
If y'all think I'm going to let you use this demon controlled construct to fix this case, you're out of your mind. I also find it funny that all of this popped up just as Diddy lost because he was fighting. He was fighting for what happened to Natanya Rubin and that entire case not to be brought into consideration in this trial as proof of prior bad acts. That he's been operating like this for decades. It's going in. Did y'all know that?
Again, news right there.
Y'all didn't know that?
Yeah, that is news.
Because guess what? Natanya's case, it lassos J-Lo right in there. Y'all ain't gonna get away.
Wow, wow, wow.
Now,
I'm gonna make sure of it. Y'all ain't
like,
gonna fix this case. Not on my watch.
so Jack, hold on, real quick. Back to Shannon's situation. Matt Barnes just released the audio with Shaquille O'Neal wanting to put money up for any dirt on Shannon Sharpe because he was about to sign $100 million deal with the Value Network. Could this be more so, Shaq, just black man going after black man, saying let's
Shaq down with all of them people too. They all in on it. Why has nobody bothered to ask why no one has sued Courtney Burgess yet? Any of the other people that were mentioned? Why? Why have people who are known to sue upon any bad mention of their name not doing anything? The only person that is doing a lawsuit right now is Chris Brown. All other celebrities. Do you know how hard J-Lo goes after people? Or should I say how hard Benny Medina goes after people on behalf of his client for even saying anything disparaging about her name? Why are they not trying to sue Courtney Burgess? Why not? He said he saw all of these people. He said he saw Bieber, he saw Justin, he saw J-Lo, he said he even saw me assaulting my own son on a Diddy tape. Why has nobody else sued him other than Diddy? They got the money. What, they don't care about their name?
That's facts. That's facts right
I'm
there.
telling you right
Wow.
now, from the second that I finished logging off with Pierce Morgan, they have been putting all of this crap together and they have been coming up with every contingency plan that they possibly can to create distraction after distraction after distraction and find a way to confuse the public so when it comes time to select those juries. Reasonable doubt, right?
Boy,
Why do I gotta be the smartest person on YouTube all the time and won't nobody give me credit for it?
boy. Yeah, real quick. Again, we got to get your take on Kanye West. He just
Yeah.
threw out his most disturbing tweet yet, based on a song he put out, saying that he was providing fellatio to his cousin up
Yeah.
until the age of 14. Do you feel like he's just trolling at this point, or he's really
No,
letting out some?
I think he's just telling it all. The problem is he's telling it too late. If he had been more honest about his sexual proclivities and the thing that he got, there's a lot of pharmaceuticals involved with Kanye. There's a lot of interesting special doctors with special medicines. If he had told everybody a little sooner, now they're trying to get him fixed and all set up for a conservatorship. See, that's the problem when it comes to serving God. You can't do it halfway. You got to go all in. You can't negotiate with the devil, not even for a second. You ain't gonna have his aha moment. It hasn't gotten here yet, but it's coming. It's just sad watching how people really have a hard time just accepting the truth. These are all devil loving sodomites who are here to make sure that our people don't break free from the system. It's Willie Lynch. I've been talking about that on my channel. The Willie Lynch letters. The making of a
Really?
slave. How to make a slave. Have y'all ever got into any of that?
Yeah, we dabbled definitely.
So you
With,
know how the process works. Rather than just relying on lynching, which is something that was then pushed back to be used as a last resort, the objective was to turn the people against each other. Give favor to one and let that one know they can continue to get that favor as long as they turn against this one. The division in color, which came from all of the abuse by the very captors that were destroying our lives. Gender, old, young. That's what we do. In the Willie Lynch letter, stated very clearly that if they enacted these behaviors, that they could control their slaves for up to 300 years. It's been about 300 years, hasn't it? We still doing the same thing?
Now that's crazy.
You know,
That's crazy.
Uh,
It's crazy that somebody figured that out and it's actually working. That's the part that's, you know, turn them against each other and they will start teaching. Our teachings will be taught to their generations of people instead of them all united we stand, divided we fall. Keep them divided and we can conquer them. They cannot, because as soon as they get a person like Jaguar Wright, for example, she can be the leader. She can be one of the leaders. Who is her? She turn and make everything about her. Well, it's probably about her. It ain't about you. Who are you? You are nobody. At least she been somewhere, so I can relate to what she's talking about. And y'all not getting it. Y'all don't understand it. Y'all want to do is me. Everybody want to talk about me, myself. I. Everybody want to do the I. The thing about it is, we got to learn and understand how to do the we, us.
illuminated.
do you feel that, you know, black people or our culture feels that we have a sense of entitlement to really what isn't ours, or the Willie Lynch syndrome, is it still around? Even you know how we
Absolutely. You can look on YouTube and you can see the effect of the Willie Lynch project all over this construct. Blacks going against blacks, sodomites going against straight women, people lying on each other, deceiving each other, going out of their way to create elaborate traps to keep them from propelling or moving forward. Willie Lynch is all over this construct. You know what else is all over this construct? Evidence of the Harvard Report. The Harvard Report is a book that was written about how the CIA used the radio stations and record companies and production houses to infuse gangster rap to create unrest amongst our people so that they could get us all fit up for the new plantations, which we know as prisons. Isn't that interesting?
well,
You want to know one of the record labels that was mentioned in that book? Philadelphia International Records. My Uncle Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, they had CIA agents in there. So imagine how heartbroken I was when I found out that they had broken into the studio on Broad Street after a section of that street was named for them, and they destroyed master recordings. It was just some little weird white boy that nobody knew broke into one of the most historic buildings in the city of Philadelphia and demolished it. I wonder what evidence was in the room with all of those master recordings that y'all didn't want anybody to know. Nobody talks about that. Ever.
facts.
I grew up in that building. My.
Man, that's real. That's
How
real.
very illuminating.
So, Jack, when we speak on this whole Tony Busby situation, the feds really have the case against Diddy. It's not really Tony Busby has a lot of lawsuits, but what we're about to watch is a federal case of whatever information is coming out. Should they push this trial back as more information may come out, or because of what maybe tampering with evidence, witnesses? Should more
think
time, or would you
God
like
is
to see
gonna do. God's gonna do what He do.
Amen to that.
See,
Amen to
I
that.
like it when things start to go off the guardrails. I didn't I tell everybody after I won the Defender of Freedom Award that everything was about to go absolutely nuts and haywire, and it was going to be just crazy thing after crazy thing after crazy thing leading up to the trial. I could have sworn to God I said that. Why does nobody ever give me credit?
It'd be hard to believe.
This
Then
trial. It's happening, and y'all can't do nothing to stop it. I told y'all, God touched down. It's about to be fun for y'all. This is a bad time for bad people.
Got
But
that
all this
right.
playing with the court system and all this playing with lawyers and all of these
You got
fake
that right.
cases and all of these setups and shakedowns and scams, all of this stuff, you ain't gonna do nothing. You're just making it work for yourselves. Just
Wow. Shakedown.
come on.
Wow. 1 2.
Well,
1 2 1 2.
May 12th
1 2.
is still the set date.
no, I know.
And we do feel that, again, I don't know if they're going to televise this thing, but it should be televised, as we should be able to see everything that goes on behind or went on behind closed doors.
1 2 1 2.
We
Who
should be able
knows
to see
what's gonna happen? But what I will say is, it ain't gonna work out the way some of y'all want. I'm fine.
1 2. My bad.
I'm good.
1 2.
Y'all not. Checkmate. Find another distraction. I don't think this Shannon dog is gonna hunt.
Wow.
It's funny. It also showed up just in enough time to kind of gloss over the fact that ain't nobody trying to get to the bottom of what really happened to Angie Stone. That autopsy report, though, will be coming out the weekend of June 1st, which is exactly when the Roots picnic will be going on, with D'Angelo appearing while he invited his son to come and perform with them. But they still haven't made a public announcement. When y'all gonna make the announcement? Or was I the person to tell little Michael that it was all?
Ouch.
I can feel how much they all hate me right now. It's great.
Well, I tell you. I mean, the Roots is Philly, Jack. I mean, gee,
The Roots are bought and paid for weirdo sodomites who became baby gatekeepers and betrayed their whole city to give it to that Charlotte and the Jigga Man. The Roots. Straight down.
So, what advice would you give, Jack, to those people in the industry that are faced with things like what Shannon Sharpe is going through, what Diddy has gone through? It seems like
Better
Cassie
turn your
Gate.
life over to God.
There you go.
That's what y'all gotta do. Y'all gotta stop praying and lusting after these demagogues. Like, didn't y'all hear what happened to the nature man? I didn't even know. I I didn't know
Yeah.
that what was going on with Legio. I didn't know
Yeah.
he was struggling with his God complex.
Right. He was stabbed 9 times.
Damn.
That's what happens when you play with God.
Damn.
That's what happens when you play with God.
Damn. That's crazy. 9
I
times
don't
he
feel
was
sorry for him
stabbed.
at all.
I don't feel sorry
Not
for
after
him at
everything he
all.
did to those kids,
That's crazy.
those babies. Trying to trick those people into believing he was some kind of deity when the only thing he was a.
15
Yeah.
minutes.
That's what
And
the
you just
Jigga
said
Man
something
done.
earlier. You had mentioned consent, like, and you when we spoke on Shannon Sharpe and the child. Yes, it's consent, but it's from a child though. So, is it really consent?
Consent. Consent from a child. A 19-year-old child. Oops, my bad. 20-year-old child. Oops, my bad. Because she had a cake that said 22. She's 22. And this probably happened a year ago. So let's say she's 23. No matter what, she's still a child. 25, she's a child. Still wet behind the ears. That's what the problem is. A lot of people don't realize that you ain't. Scientists say you're not grown, and you doing things that's not grown at 25. If you're 25, you're still a kid. 26, you just still coming out a kid. Childspility. Oh my God.
Because that's what Legio said. Everyone was okay with what was going on. Sharpen the child. Yes, it's consent, but it's from a child though. So, is it really consent? Because that's what Legio said. Everyone was okay with what was going on, but you're dealing with
No.
fragile minds.
Period. Mind control, financial control, spiritual control. To get someone to believe that a human being could ever take the place of God, that's just beyond crazy work. It's beyond. They're defying the will of God. And they're all going to suffer.
Suffer.
They're going to suffer.
They're gonna suffer.
Jack, do you feel we're in the end of days with the way, like, with robots, AI, identity crisis with humans, and the overpopulation? I
I
mean, do
seen
you
a
feel?
robot working in the store earlier today. I seen a robot before I came in. I had to go run in the store. Remember I told you we got to go run in the store? Guess what? Robot in there. I like to kick it.
Oh, damn.
I don't trust them robots.
Tell them, Jag.
A robot
Yeah, I'm
can't
like,
hear the voice of God.
iRobot. Look at that movie again. Y'all need to look
How
at
about
that
that?
movie again.
A robot cannot hear the voice of God. A robot cannot acquiesce to the presence and the spirit of God. It only responds to who's programming it. And now with AI getting smarter than human beings, y'all worried about a lot of things. You ain't worried about what's coming.
I am. I'm getting prepared for what's coming. Trust me, Uncle
Maybe
Mike is
y'all need to
getting
start
prepared.
watching movies like The Terminator and The Matrix again.
Or iRobot.
Maybe it's time y'all should really do that.
yeah, there's a show called Black Mirror that shows how technology could go left and how humans could create a God complex based on having
And
control
guess
over.
what?
Joke, honey, joke.
That was already discussed in The Terminator and The Matrix. In The Terminator, they had this thing called Skynet. And Skynet had gotten so smart that it decided that humanity was no longer equipped to run itself.
All three movies did the same thing. Dude, if it happens in the movies, it's gonna happen in real life, man. And y'all don't get that? Oh my God, here we go.
Those Waymos. How in God's name do people put their children in those and not get charged for endangerment and neglect? Somebody said, oh, well, everything is, and they're being monitored, and yeah, except for if it gets hacked. What if you put your child in a Waymo and it gets hacked? Then what?
Damn.
But you gonna sit on 2020 and cry? 60 minutes? You put more faith in an object than you do in God, and you put your children in there? People funny to me, G. It's like they want to be victims. Meanwhile, they took all of the roots and everything. I was shocked when someone that I trust sat down and was explaining to me how they designed the whole Waymo system. See, all these years, human beings have been running out in the streets, and they've been Lyft driving and Uber driving and car sharing and all of that. Those companies that you work for collected all the data. How you drove, how you didn't drive, if you drive well, if you don't do this, if you don't do that. And then they took all of that and they programmed it and they put it into these Waymos. So now they don't need you no more. They just use you to do the work.
Yeah, I'm curious, Jack. Do you ever press those on the phone when it asks, "Hey, can we track your movements on this app?"
No.
Can we?
Hell no.
Yeah, they seem to want to collect data on all of us.
That's all they do is collect data on us. Everywhere. Every app. Everything you download. Anytime somebody calls me up telling me I gotta download something, the first thing that I do is remember I don't need to talk to them no more, and make sure I block that app by all means necessary.
Wow.
Just like when Jesse Smollett wanted me to download Signal so we could talk on Signal. And I did my research. It's government manipulation there. Monitoring. Isn't that odd?
It's more odd that Jussie Smollett wanted you to download Signal to talk.
Yeah. And wanted to set up a private meeting with me.
Boy.
That's why I gave him 5 days to make sure he wasn't completely full of crap before I released the whole thing on my pod series. And I got new pods coming out on Jaguar Wright Uncensored. Tomorrow, we will be unveiling my conversation with Stone Paxton about his relationship with Angie Stone and everything that he tried to gaslight me into believing wasn't true about what was going on. It's going to be an 8-part series.
Oh, much needed.
We talked a bit.
No, definitely, Jack. No, please tell the folks, because we definitely want, as they're watching this, to be able to go over to your channel to catch the full 8-part series. Tell them how to.
I'm the Jaguar Wright Effect. And we have the Jaguar Wright Show, and I will be doing an amazing interview with someone who was really in Angie's life and really knows the totality of all that was going on. It just won't be you, Stoney. But I'm going to have my interview with you. I'm just going to interview everything that you said. Why they play playing with me.
They don't know. They
You know
don't
what's
know.
sad? They all come to me the same way. They all come to me offering me some way back into a game I'm trying to end. I don't need your distribution. I don't need your production deals. I need all of you to go to jail. That's what I need.
Damn, man, that's crazy.
The reason why y'all can't beat me is because I'm doing the one thing that none of you are doing. I'm obeying what God tells me to do, and I'm doing exactly what He says as He asks. Angie tried to tell y'all before she passed away.
It seemed like every second that you do what God tells you to do, He sends help your way. That's facts.
Y'all need to get on God's side. She told her son, you on the wrong side. And when she passed away, there was no one around her that believed in God the way that she did. And they were not looking out for her best interest. Just waiting for their moment. Sad. People want to know why I'm so up in arms about Angie, because I know everything that she lived through. The only difference between me and her is that I decided to stop trying to fight in the system, and I stepped away from the system and I found another way around. That's why I'm alive. Because I know not to take nothing from the devil. She thought she had real friends, or at least a few. I can only imagine what the last thoughts on her mind was before she expired. And when I think about that, it makes me think about myself. Looking at all this with Angie makes me think about, if something were to happen to me, who would be the first person to betray me online? Who would be the first person to drop fake information about me online? Who would be the first person to try to derail the investigation about me online? Who would be the first to come forward with a fake story and fake love and fake empathy and fake this and fake that online? Who would it be in my life? Who's my Stone Paxton? Who's my Vassal? Who's my Walter Millsap? Angie Stone had 2 children with 2 men. They were both artists, and they turned on her and betrayed her and stabbed her in the back for their careers. Don't I got 2 husbands that done the same thing to me? Why don't nobody want to look at what's there? What's going to be the first platform to come out with the first fake story to derail the investigation about what happens to me if something should happen to me? That's why I'm all in.
Yeah, it's documented.
So I would want somebody to give a damn about me. All this shit is a mess.
That's real.
Distraction, distraction, distraction. Derailment, derailment, derailment. This lie to cover up that lie to cover up that lie. They all get busted. Hold up, there's a new lie. Wait a minute, we got a new catastrophe. Hold on a second, we got that. That's not how God works. God is transparent and clear. Only the devil uses that many distractions. In my opinion, this Shannon Sharpe nonsense is not only an assassination on the character of Black men in Black America, but it's just him paying the piper to make up for letting Cat Williams come sit on his platform and cast doom over everyone he works with and does business with. Yeah. He got to do his part. Got to get his little portion of cornbread. You gonna eat your cornbread? He looking like that Goldmouth motherfucker right now from Life. That's who Shannon Sharpe looks like to me.
Oh my God, crazy.
Yeah.
And his orange Balenciaga bag is still cuter than him. I just want to know, how did that whole Casanat G Unit behavior, how did all of that just get by you so fast, sir? Or did they fix that so you could do this?
Hey, come on.
Diddy's going down, and all his friends are going with him. And every last one of you that have tried to step in place to do something to derail anything, that's your ass, Mr. Postman.
That's your
Shannon Sharpe. The Shay shit and all of it. Who gives a how much money he was gonna make? Apparently, he don't need to be given no more money. He don't know what to do with it. He likes chasing after little babies on OnlyFans with it. He don't need no more money.
$25K a cheek.
That's what y'all giving him money for?
Save some lives
Better
out there.
out going to the casino.
25K a cheek. That's crazy.
At least there, you might have had a shot at winning. Because everything you did with that girl makes you a true-born loser. And you ain't no different than my dead, disgraced, demonic step-granddaddy, Homer McClendon Sr., known as Daddy Mac. You ain't no different. Hey, Shan, I hear you like I'm young. That's all that's it. There's nothing else to say about that.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
It's all cat. And they're doing it to line up Busby and to try to shake a little bit of fear left. And whoever's going to get picked on their jury on the 5th of May. And that's what I say. And I said it. And if y'all don't like it, find something true that you can sue me for. Stop using lies.
There you go. Well, Jag, we can't wait to speak to you again. Again, we would love to have your involvement when it comes to this trial coming out. We would love to get your take on what your thoughts were when opening statements come out. We will be reaching back out. So
I'll be discussing that with Natanya Rubin.
Ooh, I gotta see
Me
that.
and Natanya gonna be talking.
Ooh, I gotta see that.
We need to talk.
Yeah, I
because
got to see that.
apparently, so everybody missed that big win. They keep talking about, oh, Diddy wins big against this, Diddy wins big against that. What are you gonna do about the Natanya Rubin case? What J-Lo gonna do about it?
oh, we're gonna see in the plot thickens.
Not a damn thing. Y'all gonna take that.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna make sure you get it. Can't stop, won't stop, Rockefeller Records.
It's coming. We gonna see. All right, Jag. Again, we appreciate just you giving commentary on this scenario again as things happen. Thank you for being available for even speaking on this. It's gonna blow some minds out the water as far as what's about to come next. But like you said, let's not get distracted. Let's lose all distractions.
Let's stop listening.
Let's focus
to everything that all of these people are saying and start paying attention.
Yes.
Like that quiet gospel Honolulu Tony guy, all involved in the Angie Stone stuff. I'm sorry, I think he is CI. Period. I think he's here doing controlled opposition. Want to know what's funny? When I went and looked to see when his account on YouTube actually became a channel? May 18th, 2024, the day after the Diddy tape hit. My birthday.
Wow. Jack is on something different when she researching these
They
people.
tapped you in, did they?
Wow, that's
Hey,
crazy.
come on, hold on.
Did they tap
Wow.
you in, honey, Lulu Tony? Did they bring you in? Y'all need to stop trying to handle me. I think at this point in time, it's become very clear. Can none of y'all handle me? Try to dogpile me again live online and watch what I do next time. Y'all thought I did something to you by sitting there and showing everybody how nuts you are? Don't get me to speaking in languages you don't understand. You might go home with problems that you can't get rid of, kind of like Orlando. Y'all need to stop playing with me. I am not a game.
Don't whisper in the ear. No, don't whisper in the ear, Jack.
God, Jack.
Well, they gonna stop playing with you, and we definitely gonna tap back in, Jack.
You know what I would like though, if they are gonna play with me? Stop all the cloak and dagger stuff. Just come meet me out in the street, G.
the way they used to do it.
Stop playing all these little games. Y'all got something? Then show yourselves. Have the audacity to at least be half as transparent as I am.
Half.
I'd settle for half at this point.
Half.
Because all of you about as whack as Stone Paxton's Jerry Curl, looking for a retirement plan and SSI check, making YouTube content ready to die. When you look at these people, these so-called black people.
Oh my God.
It's shameful. No integrity, dignity, loyalty, nothing. All the man got to do is tell him he gonna give him a portion of cornbread, and they on.
They on like popcorn. They in like flimbo.
Sad.
What?
Actually, it's just pathetic.
What?
Is it really that hard to believe in God? Like, is believing in God that bad that you got to go out like this? I know.
Hey. Well, there you go,
They
man.
dogpiled me on Sunday evening, on Easter. I said, I guess y'all, it's the crucifixion of Jaguar Wright. Okay. Watch me ascend.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
Whatever.
All right, well, Jag, you already see it right there, the jaguarwright.com, cruelty-free artistry. Any support is love. Any love is support. So we appreciate.
And I'm gonna be doing that live too, Joker, to see who the highest donor is, so that they can win
get a
their
shirt.
their new cruelty-free shirt.
Yeah, please let me know. You tell me whoever could donate to the cruelty-free artistry. Definitely we'll throw them a shirt. So
absolutely,
Jag,
I'll make sure I send you the receipt.
Please screenshotting. You know how it go. Jag, thank you so much again for coming on. Again, we can't wait to talk to you. We got a couple of weeks left. We're gonna see how this thing turns out. We're gonna tap right back in with you.
Absolutely. I'm sure this is going to either make some people very quiet or talk very stupid. I can't wait. I love pushing these buttons now. I do.
I know you do.
It's amazing.
We know you do. We know you do.
It ain't real life. Real life street stars.
Hey.
You know what time it is.
Hey. Dude, come on. Jaguar, I don't care what anybody say, man. Jaguar, you put it down. So many people love the way you put it down. I love the way you put it down. So, and you come with some fire, man. And now I cannot believe all it. That's all. Poor Shannon. I mean, in this world, it should be facts, right? It should be, if I want to date a 19-year-old, 20 or 21 or 22-year-old, and I'm 56, 57, 58, whatever. Who cares? That should be legal. But dude, I mean, this relationship you are in, Monique tried to explain to you. It's so lopsided. This girl is a OnlyFans. What? So you need to make your money with the OnlyFans, because you know the broke little boy that was under Diddy and Will Smith, that was playing on Empire, something like that, is doing a OnlyFans to try to make money. Shannon Sharpe, you getting sued for $50 million. Somebody must know you got a couple of million in the bank. Hello, ho. Hello, ho. What are we doing? Anyway, man, Uncle Mike gonna get on up out of here. My boo-boo is waiting on me. We about to do some walking and do some... She is not into this stuff, y'all. I done picked... Honey. She is not into this. We're gonna have to have a talk. I'm gonna sit there. We're going on for a walk, and we're gonna have to have a long talk, man, because this girl, oh my God. Anyway, love her to death. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.